I grew up in a family of 12 children in Democratic Republic of Congo, that's Central Africa. We were, as a family, we were told that we were moving to Australia. It was like the whole of Africa just landed because everyone wanted to take photos of us. And here we were in a nation where I couldn't speak English. There were memories of being bullied, a memory of feeling so inferior. A few years after I left high school and I was doing Bible college, my passion for young people began to grow. And as a result of that, I met someone who was a chaplain. She invited me to spend a day with her at her school. And after that day, I decided that that's what I was going to do when I finished Bible college. When I look back, my years of bullying got exchanged with me being in the school and for a number of years and reaching out to others that were facing the same challenge. During my role as a high school chaplain, I started a lot of program in the school relating to whether it was body image or self-esteem. I was compiling and designing different projects that will focus on particular needs within the school. As a result of that, a book was birthed that I saw God just lead me into, a book that I didn't have to finance, where people came along and wanted to finance it because they believed in it and believed in us continuing to reach out to our young generation. I had some really amazing opportunity working for an organization that focus was to work with the soldiers and army in the nations of Africa, many of which were dying of HIV and AIDS. In 2009 was actually when a team of us left to go to the Congo. What we saw, you can't see what you see and return back home and live a normal life. It compels you to do something. When you see young girls at the age of 8, they're being raped, and you hear a story of 90-year-old and 80-year-old grandmothers who are being taken advantage of, hospital filled with sick bodies everywhere, you're left to want to do something. As a result of that, I rallied a number of good friends and we began to work on a project for sexually abused women in the Congo. My faith really grew when I encountered challenges in my health. I was diagnosed with cancer, breast cancer. It got harder. From that year on, I went through a number of other operation and challenging health journey that were not necessarily cancer. Some was a brain tumor, another was endometriosis and fibroid, just a number of operations there that became quite exhausting. There were times I just didn't know how to reach out to God, and I'm incredibly grateful that when I couldn't, there were friends, there were family members that stood for me and on my behalf to fight in prayer for me. If I find myself anxious, I have to remember where he says, don't be anxious for anything, but in everything, be thankful, be grateful, give thanks and pray. And then that peace will rest in my heart. And I find it doing the things that I love to do, whether it's cycling, whether it's riding, whether it is hosting a dinner party. I find rest in him, in the activity that I can do every day. But sometimes it's not always activity. It's just sitting, literally just sitting and pondering the Word of God or pondering on what He's doing in my life. When I don't understand, for me to recognize that I need to just continue to just believe Him, that He will bring the end into a place that is worthwhile for me.